witnessing another of the great conversations being conducted on the campus of the University of North Dakota in celebration of the 125th anniversary of the university's founding. This evening we are very honored to host Mr. Ted Sorensen. Mr. Sorensen is the last living member of President John F. Kennedy's inner circle. Ted was born in Lincoln, Nebraska, went to the University of Nebraska at Lincoln, went to the University of Nebraska Law School at Lincoln, and after his education moved to Washington, D.C., where he would ultimately work with JFK. This experience would grow not only into an intimate partnership with the President, but into a friendship that lasted until the President's death in 1963. Ted met with JFK on a daily basis as the President's speechwriter and special counsel. As a result of this relationship, Mr. Sorensen is a prominent figure in the history of our country. He composed JFK's soaring rhetoric and exerted great influence on his policies. We see Ted's influence present at great moments in American history. Moments which included the face down of the Soviets over the Berlin Wall, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Civil Rights marches on Washington, domestic energy policies, conservation of natural resources, our U.S. policy in Asia, and the founding of the Peace Corps. Leaving the White House following JFK's assassination, Ted joined the New York City law firm, where he has been engaged in international law, advising governments, multinational organizations, and major corporations around the world. He's the author of a best-selling biography on JFK and remains active in political and international issues. I'll digress from my prepared comments for just a moment and say that after dinner with Ted, I know him to be a man of rich humor, of great warmth, abiding affection for everyone that comes in contact with him. Ted, it's a wonderful pleasure to have met you. Ted lives in New York